Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 11 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Minecraft 1.25, where today I'm going to do some gadgetry stuff. Building gadgets, for that matter. Last episode I started on Ars Nouveau, and I'd like to bring back the same building I had in my Project Architect 2 series, and we're going to see how this works, because that series was on 1.20.1, and this is on 1.21.1. So we're going to see how that plays out. But basically I need to make a copy-paste gadget. Bada bing, bada boom. And then I need a template manager from building gadgets. And the template manager is what's going to allow me to copy and paste buildings between worlds. And I'll put it in a note now, if you're so inclined, feel free to drop some structures in the Direwolf20 Discord. If you've built a really cool house and you want to put it up there, I might see it and I might use it in my Let's Play, because you know me, I'm not a great builder. So I usually say, like, if anybody posts something cool out there, I might use it. So take this as notice that if you do that, it might happen. I don't know, I'm not making promises, but it could. So that could be cool. So the template manager works like so. First off, you can take your copy paste gadget, okay? And I'm also going to snag my pocket generator, which I suspect is probably going to need a little bit of power. He's probably running low. So I'm going to snag some blaze ember here and fill her up. And that's going to generate 240 FE per tick. So that thing's going to fill up pretty quick. So the copy paste gadget is neat. You can just basically copy a whole area like so, boop, and then switch it to paste mode, and you'll notice that it's gonna have that exact same thing. Where did it go? Oh, I went to copy mode by mistake. There we go. So go into anchor, and there you go. And you can see, like, it copies like a whole bunch of stuff, right? Yeah, looks pretty good, right? So that's the building I copied. You can see the glasses up there. You can see the hole in the wall. You can see the glass window. Everything is copied for the most part. So that's the copy paste gadget, right? It does a pretty good job. So if we go into the settings menu here, I'm going to clear this so that we no longer have a copy. You don't have to do that, by the way. You can just make a new copy. Now, that said, once it's in here, you'd be able to see like what you copied. So maybe I shouldn't have cleared that out just yet. So I'm going to copy here to here again. And then if we put this in here, okay, if I were to save this to this template, you'd see that you get this cool thing. And you can click in the UI and you can kind of get an idea of what the structure is that you copied, okay? And you can like move it around and all kinds of good stuff. Neat? I thought so. So that's the template manager. Now, can I overwrite a template? I forget. I'm not sure. Let's find out. So I'm going to go over here. What you can do also is you can hit copy, and whatever is in this template slot will copy some text to your computer's clipboard, and you can share it with your friends or with the other worlds or whatever you want. And when you hit that copy button, it'll be on your clipboard, so you can just paste it into like Notepad or Pastebin or whatever website, like, you know, just whatever, right? It's on your clipboard, you know, Control-C, Control-V style, right? So we're gonna, let's see, can I overwrite this dude? Oh, I can. Good, cool. So I overwrote him. And if we want, we can come in here and we can call this Ars House. Okay. And that's a pretty cool looking Ars house, right? So this is the Ars Nouveau house that I created in my last Let's Play series. And now I don't have all the resources that I need to build this house, but hopefully I have some of them. And we're going to find out what they are. So now I've got this template. It's the Ars house. If I want to use it again, I can just, you know, load it up. Good to go. Okay. So now let's see what's involved in making the Ars house. Okay. So to make this thing, what we can do is we can go to paste mode here and we can go to the materials list. And this will tell you all the stuff that you need to build this house. Now, if you don't have all the things you need, it'll just place whatever it can. Okay. So I'm going to get things like glass, and hopefully I've got all the other stuff. So we're going to need a bunch of source stone stuff. Now that was easy to make previously. We'll find out how it goes this time around. Okay. And we're going to need some glass, and we're going to need some source stone basket weave. Okay. So let's take this off my hotbar for a minute. And source stone. So we can see there is a bunch of cool source stone. And what I'm probably going to do is go end this spider's life. Thank you. Nobody likes all that noise, spider. Quickie heal for myself as well. Okay. Where was I? Something, something... Source stone. That's right. Let's put away this junk that I've got, along with these mob drops, and this iron. And that's a much cleaner inventory. And let's get some source stone. Now, I'm pretty sure source stone can be made... There we go. With source gems. Okay, 1 source gem will get you 8 source stone. So we're going to need a decent amount of these, so I'm probably going to have to spend a few minutes off camera making more source stones, but I'll get everything I need here, and then we'll be cool. Now for you, can you stone cutter into the other types? Is that how it works? That seems about right. So let's get a stone cutter. And I'm not sure if andesite will work or if only smooth stone works, but we'll find out. Okay, so we do that, and oh good, we get source stone. Nice. And then we can get the stone cutter. Okay, and then we can stick that. I'll just put it like right where my head goes when I'm taking a nap. Seems pretty safe. And then in here I can make whatever I need to make, right? So now I know gilded source stone, large bricks. Gilded source stone, large bricks. I need 25 of those. And I know that because I took a screenshot of what I need. If we come over here to the materials list now, you'll notice that's green because I have 25 out of 25. Now I need smooth source stone basket weave as well. So smooth source stone basket weave. Okay. If I open up my materials list now, you'll see I have 7 out of 36. So it's in yellow saying like, hey, you're partway there. So I'm going to need a lot more of that. And the bummer, let's see. What do I got? Yeah. There's a lot of things. I don't have a lot of cobblestone, do I? To be fair, I've done a lot of like mining in. I've been doing a lot of mining by way of like cave mining. So I haven't been doing a lot of cobblestone mining. So I should probably go do that. So I'm going to come back in a minute after I get a whole bunch of cobblestone, and that'll be better. All right, now I should be able to throw a bunch of this cobble in here. I'll dump what excess is in there, and I'll come back once I've crafted everything I need to craft, because I suspect it's going to be just a minute or two. By the way, I burned through a lot of my energy smelting all that. I'm just putting that out there so y'all know. So, a little bit more RF to generate here. Hopefully we got enough. I mean, we have a lot, but we don't have like a ton, to be fair. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, this is the last batch that I need. And if we check our materials list now, I'm just missing 16 glass and then a bunch of Ars Nouveau stuff, which I'm not going to worry about just yet. Okay, so 16 glass, and we don't have any sand. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you in here with a memory slot, and I can swap you out. Cool? Cool. You're going to go here, and I'm going to go get some sand. Back in a minute. All right, now let's go find a place to build it. What do you say? Boy, I need to repair my thing real quick. Do I have any lava? I do. Cool. Yeah, I can't break obsidian with this guy. I think there's an augment to the spell you can put on if you want to break obsidian with it. I didn't think I could, but I also needed to test to be sure. You know, just sometimes you want to do that. That's all. Let's put also a slot here for our copy paste gadget. I want you to remember where you live. But now we can go build this somewhere. So if we were to anchor this somewhere, we can anchor it like so. You'll notice it has a floor, right? So we'll want to put it on the ground and then lower it some. So I'll show you how to do that. But where do we want this guy to live? That is an exceptional question. Because I haven't quite figured out how I want this all to play out. But the gist is I wouldn't mind having some kind of like area, like city-ish type looking area where it's kind of like I go from place to place doing what I need to do. How about over here? This feels pretty cool. So now I can, in my settings menu, adjust the Y level down 1. And you'll notice it's there. Now by default, replace blocks is off, meaning it won't overwrite the grass to place the stuff. But if I turn that on, it will delete the grass. Now, as a warning, when you overwrite stuff like this, it's going to void whatever you overwrite. So it's going to be like the destruction gadget or the cut and paste gadget without pasting. It's just going to delete the blocks and you don't get the drops. So when this is on, make sure that's what you want to do. Cool. And that's pretty cool. So let's build that dude, shall we? Looking pretty good, huh? How cool is that? I like this structure. I think it looks great, doesn't it? And we used all the blocks from my inventory. Awesome. That is cool. That is cool. I'm on board with this. I think it's neat. I could work with this. Okay. So with that up and running now, let's move or relocate this stuff over there. In fact, I'm gonna actually keep this up because I want to get the enchanting apparatus up next. I think that's kind of the next best course. So enchanting apparatus from Ars Nouveau. We're gonna want you, and then we're gonna want the core thingy it's called, and then we're gonna want pedestals times 8. Cool. So that's going to need some diamonds, and it's going to need some gold, and it's probably going to need more source stone. So I need at least 32. That'll make mine. Well, that made 9 arcane pedestals. That was one more than I meant to make, but it's okay. You have other uses for arcane pedestals in the future. We're definitely going to want more arcane stone, so that's cool. We're going to want our arcane core, which is going to need source stones. Man, I already burned through all my source stones? I guess so. I guess that makes sense. And then the enchanting apparatus, which is going to need a little bit more gold nuggets. Cool. Looking pretty good. Yeah? I like. All right, let's go set up enchanting. So this is one of the main crafting components of Ars Nouveau. What you do is you place your arcane core on the ground, and then an enchanting apparatus on top, and then you place 8 arcane pedestals all around it. Okay? Now, a lot of this enchanting, in fact, I think almost all of this enchanting, is going to need source, which is a material that we're going to want to pay a lot of attention to because it's basically like the fuel of Ars Nouveau, if you will. Okay. Cool. All right, that looks overall pretty good. Yeah, not a bad structure, and I'll fill that hole in a sec. That was, I think, basket weave. There we go. Looking good, right? Pretty nice little Ars Nouveau house. Now, it's a little compact, I ain't gonna lie. It's a little bit tight, but we can make it work. There's going to be a lot of utility we get out of this room, and if we need to make it bigger, we can. That's kind of what I want to do, like the multiple buildings approach in this Let's Play series, as I've done in the past. Now, this is my iron spells and spellbooks. This has been my miscellaneous modded junk chest, so I'll put my extra arcane pedestal in there. I will absolutely have a use for it in the future. Don't you worry. Cool. So lapis is cooking. We've got a bunch of good stuff ready here. I'm done with you guys. Let's get into generating source. Agronomic source link is where I'm going to play because this thing generates source from crops growing. And I happen to have a thing where crops automatically grow. So that works for me. So we're going to set up the agronomic source link here. And I'm going to remember how this thing works. So basically, I think we just put it in the world, but why do I feel like it has to sit on top of something? Does that have to sit on top of something? So there's a whole chapter on source in here, and you can see all the different things you can do with source. Generate source from crop and tree growth within 15 blocks. Bonus source is generated from magical plants such as mageblooms, sourceberry bushes, and arcwood saplings. Source will be output into the source link from the source link nearby jars within 5 blocks. Note, bone meal and crops will not grant source. Cool. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to want some source jars, which is where you can store source. Okay, so for that, we're going to need some glass, and we're going to need some of this. So let's get like, does 10 sound like a good number? I feel like 10 sounds like a good number. Look at that, we have 10. Sweet. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that, and then we're going to stick this dude right here in the center. Now, every time a crop grows, it should generate source. So we're going to kind of give it a second here. There it goes. And then that source will be beamed directly into the nearest jar. So this is the nearest jar, that one. And then once this one fills up, it'll start filling up the others. So it's not like particularly fast, but it's also not like terrible. Oh, look at you, you're full, and I never void upgraded you, did I? Yeah, I never really did that, did I? And what's up with you guys being so darn slow? Like, you're getting there, but holy cow, are you slow? Yeah, I should void upgrade that dude. Not that it hurts, because the way this farm works is it doesn't cause lag. Because the items it drops despawn after a second or two. So, like, probably not a big deal to just let it. But at the same time, whenever I walk by, you know, it's gonna do stuff. So that's not ideal. So I'm just gonna void upgrade this dude. Yeah, but thinking about it, there's no real lag generated from this farm. Like, normally when you're playing modded Minecraft and you set up automations like this, you want to do your best not to let item entities float around on the ground. So, like, if you're making a mob farm or an automated farm like this, like, anything where, like, items sit on the ground for a long period of time can generate lag when there's a lot of them. So you want to avoid that, right? So, you know, keep that in mind. I don't know if it's easy to like determine the amount of source in here, but what we're going to want to do shortly, let's see, can I click source between things? No. I'm just going to steal you for a sec, Mr. Source. And yeah, you can sit there. Is that cool? Because what I want to make next is magebloom. And magebloom seeds are made with 4 source gems and some regular old seeds. They may not even require source for this, so I'm going to actually swap you out. We'll do that. Is that cool? And then you guys are cool. Excellent. So we've got this, and it's time to do our first enchant, but I might want to sleep through the night because we don't want to be bothered by mobs, right? Probably not. Okay. So the way this works is whenever you want to make something, you put your items on the outside and then click whatever in the middle. So in the middle will go any seed, right? And it shows them being like this, but they don't have to, like, I can do it like this and it's no big deal, right? And then I stick the seed in the middle and enchanting will happen. Now, if this required source, it would tell you on the JEI lookup there, okay? And all you would need is a jar nearby for it to pull the source out of. So, like, if we look at this guy, for example, he requires 5,000 source, which I think is a lot. I don't know. We'll find out. But, yeah, that's the deal, okay? So, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go. And that'll get us magebloom seeds, which do 2 things. 1, they generate more source when they grow. And 2, they generate resources that are super useful for Ars Nouveau, specifically magebloom. Which leads to some really nice armor. And you might be saying to yourself, Dyer, you already have armor. Don't worry, I have a plan. Cool. Alright, so you're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then they should get the same kind of, like, slightly speedy... Again, this soil ain't crazy fast, but it definitely has a little bit of a boost to it, which is cool. Okay. I might snag... So I already grew a little bit, so that's nice. I might snag some bone meal, which, again, doesn't generate source, but it will generate the things that I want. So where's... I've got some bone blocks, so I'm just going to convert them directly into bone meal. Hooray! And the main reason I wanted that is so that my dude could do this, and that would be cool. So what should happen is whenever the magebloom soil next randomly ticks, which could be at any point, it'll detect that the Ars Nouveau crop is fully grown and harvest it for me. And I kind of want to see if that works. Kind of hoping it does. We'll find out, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Now that didn't get picked up because it's outside the area of effect. I could make this a little bit bigger to account for that possibility. Probably a smart move. And if I'm correct, it won't pick up anything that's not, you know, that can't fit in the drawers underneath here. So I really want to see you guys auto harvest so that I know magebloom is working. Because it should be, assuming it's a crop. We'll find out. I'm going to give it a few minutes and then I'll come back. Well, hey, look at that. It worked. Haha. And we have these. Okay, that's cool. It's working. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so we've got magebloom is happening. Or magebloom is happening. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So that's a good time. Nice. So the next thing I probably want to work on, now that we have like a little bit of source happening, we have a little bit of, yeah, what else should I do? I could generate source. There's another way to generate source. Source link. If we look up source links, there's a few. There's agronomic, there's volcanic, which I think burns fuel. There's alchemical, which happens whenever you make potions. Vitalytic, and mycelial. I forget what those two... I think one of them has to do with, like... Oops, that's not the right book. One of them has to do with something... like animals. I think that's vitalytic when they breed, maybe? Moderate amount of source from nearby mob death and animal breeding. Alright, yeah. Additionally, the vitalytic will generate passive source from nearby baby animals and will accelerate their growth. I always forget that, but that's kind of cool. We should... I don't know how much they accelerate, but that's kind of cool. That reminds me, I wanted some kind of like baby animal growth accelerator for Just Dire Things. I'm going to note that. Baby animal growth accelerator. Yeah. All kinds of things I want to add to Just Dire Things. And every now and then I remember like, oh, that's right. Volcanic source link generates source from consuming burnable items. Arcwood logs will generate bonus source, with blazing arcwood generating the most. As the volcanic source links produces source, it also produces heat, used for spawning lava lilies and converting stone into lava. The volcanic source link automatically outputs to nearby jars, starting with the one closest to it. Cool. And it'll take items from surrounding pedestals. We could probably automate that. We probably could. Something we should maybe look into. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, that's not my mob drops chest. That goes in there. Oh, how did you guys get in here? Dire, please. Sometimes my organizational skills leave a few things to be desired. Cool. Alright. I think the next thing I should do is get a scribes table. That feels like a good time. That definitely feels like a good time. Scribes table. Get a couple logs. Cool. I'm going to avoid these extras. Sweet. Now this scribes table, maybe I'll put it in here. Even though it's not there. Like, that's my Ars Nouveau building for, like, all my Ars Nouveau automations. That said, a lot of what's going to happen here is going to involve items. And experience, for that matter. So let's do a thing, actually. How do I want to... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swap these. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So scribe's table is going to go there. Is that correct or is that backwards? I feel like that might be backwards. That's the way I want it, but I'm going to have to do it like that. Cool. And then you. That's cool. I'm cool with that. Okay, scribe's table. How do we use this? This is the thing that lets you get new spells. So if you click onto the scribe's table with your book, it'll show you all the glyphs in the mod. Grayed out ones, you don't know yet. The not grayed out ones, you do. Okay, so you'll notice that, well, we don't know. You can also separate it by tier. So if you wanted to see all the tier 1 glyphs, if you want to see all the tier 2 glyphs and 3, and you can also just search for them. So like if we were looking for some kind of like fire-based glyphs, either the firework, filter fireproof, that kind of thing, right? You know, I don't know, there's all kinds of ones. So if you're looking for plow, for example, explosion, because PLOW was in it, and then, yeah, cool. All right, so let's talk about unlocking a new spell, because that'll be cool. So I kind of want amplify. That's usually a good one. So that requires 3 experience levels. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show my area here. And I'm going to shift this dude. I'm actually just going to make him a little bit larger. So if I'm standing there, that's cool. Let me shift him in the negative Z direction. So now he covers this area. And if I set this dude to be a target level of 3, when I stand in the area of effect, it will keep me at level 3. Okay? Now if I want to go learn something, for example, I made myself this, and I said I want to learn amplify, and select it, it's going to tell me, hey, you need an iron pickaxe. I toss that on there, and it's gonna make it, and then it also used 3 levels from my player. But you'll notice I still have 3 levels because I'm standing in the area of effect. How cool is that? So for example, like let's get some kind of like cool, like, well, what do we got in here in tier 1? Like what's cool? Mage block, mage light. I like that. I like that. So I need a lantern and a torch. Mage light is one of my favorites because it's a projectile light. And like, yes, right? So let's get a lantern, which is just iron nuggets. And that should be cool. Okay, so like check this out, right? So I want Mage Light. Select, it used up my experience. But if I'm standing in the area of effect, I just got 3 experience levels back from that dude. Cool, right? And then drop and drop, and then we get thing. I'm just probably gonna avoid this extra iron nugget. And then you right click and you learn the spell. So now what I can do, so you're actually harm, right? So we'll save that as harm. And then 3 can be mage light, and that will be projectile, conjure mage light, okay? And now when I right click, it'll shoot a projectile and create a light source wherever that projectile lands. Is that cool or what? All right, so I think that's a good wrapping up point for the episode. So let's come back next time. If I wanted to, I could probably even just make this Z a little bit bigger. And when we come back next time, we'll get a little deeper into Ars Nouveau. We should have a bunch more source available to us, so we can do some cool stuff with that. And then we should be really close to being able to do the enchanting that I want to do, right? But there's a few other things we need to do before we get there. So for now, Doll20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and continue playing with Ars Nouveau. For now, take it easy.